If you've been thinking about buying the Apple Ultra 2 for the main focus of lifting, but you're on the fence about it and you're not sure if it's worth it, don't worry, I got you. I have it in hand and I've been using it for a while now. I am here to answer some of your questions and here to tell you some pros and cons of the Apple Watch Ultra 2 to see if it's worth it for you in the gym or not. How it may get in the way of strength training, and at the end I will give you my final thoughts of the Apple Watch Ultra 2 so that it really gives you a good idea if it's worth it for you or not. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to go over all the specs of the Ultra 2 just because I feel like you can find it on the Apple website and there's so many videos out there talking about the specs of it. I am here to give you a full-on user experience with the Ultra 2. Alright, let's get right into it. So I've owned previous Apple Watches before and I've always actually sold them and never kept them around because I always felt like they were a little bit redundant. Honestly, they just didn't look really good. Felt like an NPC type vibe. Not to mention, I also felt like it wasn't very durable for me in the gym because you're walking around with lots of weights and bars and squat racks and it could really easily be scratched and dented, and that's something that I just didn't want to deal with. However, once the Ultra 2 came out and they talked about how durable it was, I was like, sheesh, maybe I should give this one more chance, and man, I am so glad that I did. First, we have to talk about apps that utilize the Apple Watch Ultra 2. So Heavy app is such a great app because you can use the Apple Watch to track all of your lifts using the watch itself and no phone, which is I think a huge benefit for a lot of people who don't want to use their phone and just focus in the gym. It's great because you can calculate your RPE, you can put in your weight, you can put in your total reps, you can put in your rest timers. It can really function as its own standalone app on your watch without the phone. And what's also great about this is that this app can also count towards your calorie rings and your exercise ring and also your stand ring. So if you're very focused on closing your rings, which I think is a good thing, this app is perfect for you when you're in the gym. It can really help incentivize you losing weight or maybe gaining weight because you can always constantly see how many calories you've burned. That's a huge pro. Now, if you want more information about this Heavy app, I don't want to get all into it, but I'm gonna leave a link somewhere over here so that you can click on it and watch my full review of the Heavy app. In addition, another really nice feature is the Vitals app and the sleep tracking that the Apple Watch Ultra 2 provides. And it's amazing because when you are using the Ultra 2 to track your sleep, because it has such a large battery, you don't even need to think about charging it in the morning. You can just continue wearing it and go about your day so that you always have enough battery to track your workouts going forward. In addition to that, tracking your sleep is also very important because it really gives you a good idea of how hard you can train that day. You can see how many hours of sleep you got. Another great thing about the Vitals app and also sleep tracking is that it can show you some outliers that you might have. So if you have outliers, it can help you predict whether you might get sick or you're extra fatigued during that day so that you can really plan your workout for the day of and the day after or maybe the week. Because of the Ultra 2's durability, I have felt so much more confident to be able to use this watch in the gym. And it's really nice because I don't have to worry about getting nicks on my screen or scratches or dents on my watch. I can just wear it and I don't need to like worry about it. With previous Apple Watches, I've always felt like I had to be a little bit more careful with it because the glass was a little bit more fragile. Metal or the aluminum on the watches just weren't as strong and durable. Now I can just proceed around the gym and just focus on my lifts without even giving a second thought to the watch that I'm wearing. In fact, since owning the Apple Watch Ultra 2, I haven't had a single dent or scratch on it. It looks brand new. Lastly, that titanium Milanese loop is the only loop you should be getting, and I hope I pronounced that name correctly. And yes, it has a hefty price tag for just a bracelet, but honestly, I think it's kind of worth it. But for me, I actually got a deal on it, so it's even worth it for me even more. You see, I hated previous loops because the rubber loop would leave like this nasty smell underneath your wrist, and the Velcro ones would not only lose security over time, but once it got wet, it would stay wet for a while unless you had to take it off and dry it. And honestly, all these straps that they had before just weren't really my style. But with the new Milanese loop, it's great because it not only looks great, but it's also breathable and it's very secure and there's no stinky smell after. It's honestly worth the price tag and it's very comfortable. Like, I don't feel any issues. I don't have any circulation loss. I don't have any hair pulling. Honestly, barely notice that it's even on. I think I'm gonna make a review on it because I like it that much. Now we have to talk about the negatives. Now, previously using Apple Watches before have consistently gone the way of my lifting because of the way it sat on my wrist and the equipment that I wanted to use. So for an example, using straps and wraps would be a little bit more difficult task because the wraps and the straps would sit right on your wrist, and guess what's on your wrist? The Apple Watch, like a big chunk. Like this little watch face could really obstruct the way the strap and the wraps sit on your wrist. And honestly, because of that, that's just one extra thing that you have to worry about when you're using straps and wraps. And I don't know about you, but for me, when I go to the gym, all I want to think about is just going in there, getting my lift in and getting out, and not have to have one extra piece of resistance when it comes to using my equipment. However, because I got very annoyed by this, I did find some workarounds because I like using the Apple Watch so much. Something that I could do was make the watch sit lower or maybe higher on my wrist so that the strap could sit higher on my wrist and it wouldn't sit right on the watch face. The only negative to that is that sometimes the strap would actually press against the action button, but again, that's not a really big deal. I could still get my lift in. It was just something that got my way. Now, when it comes to wraps, it's not something that I use anymore, but I did find if I unclasp my Apple Watch, flip it on the back side of my wrist and then secure it, I can actually put the strap right on and it wouldn't have any pressure on the top of my wrist where my bone is, which was really nice. I could still use the wrap the way I wanted to without having any uncomfortability. Obviously, using a wraps and straps is very dependent on the person. You might not even be someone who uses those types of equipment, so that might be a non-issue for you. But of course, the real question is the Apple Watch Ultra 2 actually worth it when it comes to using it for the main focus of lifting? I would say no. I would say no, it's not worth it just for lifting. You could probably get away with the regular Apple Watch if you really wanted to. I just don't think for what it offers right now is really worth it just for the primary goal of lifting. Now, if you can get it on sale, that makes it more worth it. I mean, I got mine on sale, which is why I bought it. I also like it because it's all black. You know, it's just sleek, but it's also rugged, and it just gives a really cool look, and it also fits with all my outfits whenever I take it out. It's really given me more incentive to use it and track all of my calories and all of my lifts, and has gotten me also more active. And if you pair it with the Milanese lube, it just looks really cool, and I think that sleek look is something that I appreciate, but that might not be the case for you. And of course, because I like the look of it, it gave me a chance to wear it more often. And honestly, since I've had it, I haven't worn another watch, and it really incentivized me to close my rings every single day. Now, of course, you can get the exact same functionality from all the other Apple Watches, but as you might know, the Ultra 2 does some things that are really amazing, like the durability, like the design of it, and also the battery life. And honestly, I can't explain to you how amazing it is to be able to use my watch in everyday life, not just a gym, to be able to walk around and not worry about nicks, scratches, and cracked screens. All-day battery life became a game changer when it comes to doing multiple activities in a day and also tracking my sleep. And of course, like I mentioned, it also just looks sick, and it's just something that stands out from the rest of the Apple Watches, and that's just something that I really appreciated. So, should you buy it? Look, I wouldn't pay full price for it personally, but if you can get a sweet deal on it and you are already an active person and you want to start track your vitals and your lifts and become more active with running and biking, then yes, I think this would be an awesome tool. But if you're someone who is literally trying to get into shape with the primary focus of going to the gym to track your lifts, then no, I would say do not buy it, because the other Apple Watches can do the exact same thing, and for the most part, they're much cheaper, and you probably don't need the expensive top tier Apple Watch Ultra 2. Okay, that wraps up this video. Thank you for watching. I hope this gave you lots of information about the Ultra 2. If you have additional questions, please make sure you leave a comment down below. I am very active, and I would love to, you know, be in the comments with you guys and answer your questions going forward. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe. That would make a huge difference for me. That way I can produce more videos for you that is informational and also help you with your fitness journey. Otherwise, that's about it, guys. Peace out. Take care.